Well, good morning. Welcome to Pyjama preaching for Tuesday, 14th of July. And we're moving on to chapter 4 of Mark's Gospel. It says this, just reading verses 1 and 2. Once Jesus was so hemmed in by the people on the shore of Lake Galilee that he had to speak to them from a boat out on the water. He used stories to explain the kingdom of God to people. Sounds very simple. Problem I have is I don't do crowds very well, or queues at the best of times, and especially now during COVID, even more so. And I do feel unsafe in little boats. So where we find Jesus today would have my anxiety levels right up through the roof. So Jesus was the greatest storyteller ever and used things of the day to illustrate really life-changing, life-saving messages all about the kingdom of God. Jesus wasn't constrained by the rules, tradition. He, as we say in modern parlance, thought outside of the box. And that, I think, is what we're having to do. We're thinking outside of the box with regards to COVID. We're thinking outside of the box with regards to our lives. And actually, let me just show you. There's one of my fish. They're constrained, I suppose, by the size of the pond. And that's their world. And they get on with it. And I suppose that's what we have to do. So thinking outside the box, one of the things we need to do always is to pray. And the disciples, we're told in Luke's Gospel, chapter 11, asked Jesus the obvious question. One day Jesus was praying. Lord, said one of his followers when he'd finished, will you teach us how to pray, like John taught his followers? The building blocks of prayer, said Jesus, are like these. Remember who you're praying to. Your Father is the King of heaven, and you can tell him everything. Pray that his character, goodness, power and glory will be acknowledged by all people. Ask him to make earth more like heaven. That's what it means to pray for his kingdom to be established. Then turn to your own needs, which are threefold. Basic physical needs like food, ask him to supply what you actually need rather than all the things that you'd like. You have the spiritual need of forgiveness. As you ask your Father to forgive you, let go of anything you hold against anyone else for things they've done to you. You're asking God for a clean slate, so do the same for others. Finally, ask the Father to steer you clear of temptation. And so, that's our prayer today. Go into your quiet space and just pray, Our Father. Amen.